For generations, these highlands fed families, raised cattle, and sustained one of Africa's most celebrated indigenous communities. Today, the land is changing. The rains no longer arrive when expected. The cold bites deeper. The river disappears sooner, and for the Maasai of Ilikirimisho, the fight is no longer only about climate, it is about history, identity, and survival. These fertile hills once formed part of Kenya's colonial White Highlands. During British rule, thousands of Maasai families were displaced, forced away from their ancestral grazing lands, where European settlers occupied some of the country's most productive soils. Although independence returned political freedom, its legacy remains visible today. Small farms, fragmented grazing fields, and the growing pressure on natural resources.
So since the time the British left, the community is still, they are still here, and the community is still intact. And we are actually formed in clan families, and the community is just as intact as it is during that colonial time. Now we are in Narok County, and we are bordering Nakuru County. Nakuru County is surrounding the village, this village, and it's like an island. We are cut out from the rest of Narok, and we are not administratively in Nakuru. So we are just there in between.
For the Maasai, land is not simply property. It is identity, culture, livelihood, and memory.
Land is a vital organ to our community, because it is livelihood to our community, present generation, and also to a coming generation. Land gives us food, and it gives us status.
When land changes, everything changes. Climate change has become the newest layer of an older struggle. Farmers here speak of seasons that no longer follow familiar patterns: long droughts, unexpected frost, intense cold, heavy rains arriving too late, the results, uncertainty. Due to climate change, the Maasai community are now shifting from the perennial crops into seasonal crops so that they can harvest within a shorter period. Growing food has become increasingly expensive. Harvests are no longer guaranteed. Every season carries a greater risk.
We have another problem of infection, especially attacking the potatoes. And but in the other time, during the rainy season, the farmers used to produce, the farms used to produce a lot of potatoes.
Yet, adaptation is quietly taking root. Farmers are shifting away from the crops that demand predictable rainfall. Irish potatoes, garden peas. Climate-smart farming practices, diversified production, not because they want to, because they must. Across Ilikirimisho, food security is no longer measured by hectares. It is measured by resilience. Emily Farm is small, but every corner serves as the purpose.
I have a portion for maize planting, just for kitchen use. You can see it's just a small portion, so that I can have good security at my home.
Fruit trees feed the family. Vegetables improve nutrition. Livestock provide manure. Nothing is wasted. Everything supports everything else. In a changing climate, the future of food may depend less on bigger farms and more on smarter ones. Climate change cannot be separated from conservation. As forests disappear, water sources shrink. As trees vanish, communities become even more vulnerable. Climate action here is not happening by chance. It is being driven through partnerships that recognize that environmental restoration must go hand in hand with restoring history, dignity, and community ownership. Alkebulan Abundance is a project rooted in the belief that healing the land begins with telling the truth about it. Sponsored by Black Sunlight Sustainability, an organization dedicated to confronting historical land injustice, advancing climate action, and affirming culture and indigenous knowledge as essential tools for human development. The project is being implemented on the ground by Greenspace Action and Network, working alongside local communities to transform ideas into action.
What is coming out clear, much as we are experiencing climate change, so are the needs of the communities changing. And one thing that is coming out strongly from this session, interaction, and moment of learning is that nutrition can never be ignored. Climate smart agriculture must be given a critical priority in our planning. Besides, energy forms a cornerstone in developing the critical segments that touches the community, that revolves around community needs.
Together, they are working at the intersection of ecology, memory, and community, reclaiming green spaces not simply as environments to be restored, but as living archives of identity, resilience, and abundance.
The community envisions rather than what we envision for the community. And that is what true policy advocates for. Policy is about translating the needs of a community to the desire and to the satisfaction that they intend to actually see in the output. And we are glad that Greenspace Action Network organization, we are more than committed to not only just push or engage this conversation at the global context, but disseminate them at the local context.
Through landscape restoration, clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and community empowerment, the initiative is helping communities build climate resilience while preserving the cultural heritage that has sustained generations. Many homes here remain beyond the national electricity grid. Solar power is becoming more than clean energy. It is opportunity. Children can study, businesses stay open, families rely less on firewood, and forests are given space to recover. For many young Maasai, the greatest challenge is not climate, it is opportunity. Without land, without employment, without investment, many leave. Those who remain are choosing something different, to restore rather than abandon.
Youth should be involved in such priorities and advocacy for climate change so that they can teach the young children growing to have a good environment that will secure the food security and will also secure the livelihood of the adults who are illiterate.
Development has often arrived carrying outside solutions, but lasting change, communities here believe, must begin from within. For generations, Maasai leadership has been rooted in consensus, respect, collective responsibility, and knowledge passed between generations. Today, those same traditions are helping communities respond to modern challenges of climate change, food insecurity, and land degradation.
The soil is being washed away by harsh rain. Normally we have flash floods, and when this rain comes, it do washes away soil to downstreams. So that's why we feel like conservation here is so important.
Culture is not standing in the way of development. It may be the key to making development last. The people of Ilikirimisho are not asking to be rescued. They are asking to be heard. They carry generations of knowledge. They understand this landscape. They know how to restore it. What they need are partners willing to invest in community-led solutions. Solutions that restore land, strengthen food systems, protect nature, empower women, support youth, and place culture where it has always belonged, at the center of leadership. From Ilikirimisho in Narok County, my name is Aaron Marie.